Okay, next up is Malaika Pervez, who is a spoken word artist from Mississauga, Ontario. She began writing at the age of 12 and has performed at competitions and events all over the GTA, such as Muslim Fest. She has previously worked for the Premier of Ontario and is a second-year political science student at York University. Spoken word and rap is her passion, and she hopes to invoke ideas of youth identity and empowerment with her writing. Help me welcome Malaika.
Okay, assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Malaika Pervez. I don't have a name for this one yet, but I'm just gonna dive right in. I'm accustomed to a lifestyle where I have learned to advertise my success and bury my failure. Only the good half of my story is worth telling. Disadvantages just don't seem too compelling. I could stand here and list my aspirations, but I'd shy away from sharing my fears, and I'd happily Instagram the top of the mountain, but not the blood, sweat, and tears that it took to get from down there to up here. You learn to tell yourself, as long as it looks good on paper, as long as I seem put together, what does the rest even matter, even if my insides are a little shattered? A year ago from today, I was desperate for someone to peel back the layers of my insecurity, but the false security of my situation was so comfortable that I didn't know how to break free from the pretend perfection, because my picture-perfect image was limited to the picture, and inside I was running on empty, but I didn't know how to fix her. Because at home, every award I've ever won is taped up to the refrigerators, and trophies line the shelves. I never really learned how to deal with failure. And eventually, the fear of losing outweighs any hope I ever had. So I stopped. I stopped entering competitions. I stopped taking risks, because even if there was a tiny chance of not succeeding, that tiny chance was way too big. And when your fear of failure is greater than your drive and your motivation, you start to make a list of excuses and complications. You're on a broken bus that will never leave its station. You can't stare at a map and hope to reach your destination. And the fear of failure, it held me back from achieving, and I stayed stuck in that place of waiting and grieving for successes I could have had and risks that I didn't take. And afterwards, it always felt like a mistake to not have given it a shot, because as Wayne Gretzky once said, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And yeah, maybe losing would have caused my confidence to shake, but if you can learn how to get out of your own head, then you're already winning the fight up here, and sometimes that's greater than the challenge itself. I think we're all a little scared of embracing that risk, whether it's applying for a promotion or performing on stage, but there's always a chance that it might not go great. But I'm starting to learn that there's also a chance that it may. It may go wonderfully or perfectly, or you might fall flat on your face, but you'll always be left wondering if it's a chance that you don't take. I was very careful when it came to telling people that I was struggling or I was scared, because there's like a chance that they think that I was inadequate or underprepared, and I was desperate to come across as perfect because I thought that everyone around me was, and it's only when you start talking about imperfection that everyone around you does. So I'm learning to take loss instead of letting it take me over. I'm learning to channel that energy into doing better. It isn't easy to put yourself out there and still not succeed, but your willingness to try already puts you in the lead. Here's a revelation. I don't want to be good on paper. I don't want to be picture perfect. I'd rather share my flaws and tell you what I've learned from it. I hope we can come to appreciate the process instead of the end results. I hope we can laugh about the times we went wrong instead of cringing. I'd like to read the good and the bad of your story. Every chapter is just another beginning. And there may be bumps on the road, but they'll still lead you to winning. Thank you.